What's up everyone? Coach Dale here with Caught Auto Fitness. And in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 tips that help me improve my bench press, break a plateau, and hit 300 pounds. Coming up next.
Back from the dead.
Tip number 5, utilize plus sets. I personally found that my program didn't have quite enough volume and that my chest could handle a ton of volume and needed that volume to adapt and get stronger. So something that I began to do was utilize plus sets, and a plus set is basically when you do all your sets until the final set, and on the final set you max out. You basically go to failure. And I found that to be very effective because leading up until that point, the sets were fatiguing and they were causing adaptations, but not quite as much as I wanted to. So I realized that I could handle more volume, I could handle more stress on the bench press specifically. So I started doing plus sets, and what that did is that it helped me when I still had a lot left in the tank. Bench pressing helped me to really push myself and give my chest the intensity and the volume that it needed to adapt and grow. So that's number 5. Learn correct technique principles and adapt those principles to fit your structural anatomy. So I had a pretty good understanding of the basics behind bench pressing, but when I started to really dig into powerlifting, I started educating myself using kind of powerlifters, and there were 3 major tips that stood out to me that really helped me improve my technique. So one of the technique cues that really helped me was to keep your shoulder blades back. You want to make sure that you're squeezing your shoulder blades, keeping them pinned together on your back, and that really helps to put your shoulders in a really optimal position for pressing, and it creates I think an optimal arch for getting that weight more centered above your shoulder joint. And so that's probably one of the biggest tips that helped me, is keep your shoulders back. You want to squeeze your shoulder blades together on that bench and then press from that position. A second technique cue that really helped me was visualizing bending the bar. So when you have the bar in your hand, you want to visually and actually physically try to bend the bar down. And what that does is that helps keep an appropriate pressure in your shoulder and elbows by basically helps to keep your elbows in an optimal position without actually shifting the weight and moving it down further down your body. And that's good because you want to keep pressure and you keep your elbows in a safe, optimal position. But if you start to tuck your elbows too much, what happens is it'll actually cause the bar to come down. And you don't want that. So if you imagine that you're bending the bar with your wrists, and it'll help to put an appropriate pressure on the bar itself without actually shifting the weight down and away from your shoulder joint, which is kind of ideally where you want to be pressing from. A third tip that I think is a little more commonly known but still helped me is that you want to get your hands to a width on the bar that helps to or that is going to keep your forearms vertical at the bottom of your press, roughly vertical. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I played around with that and I ended up going a little bit more in, but just a hair. But it still keeps my forearms, I would say, for the most part, 90, 95, 99% vertical at the bottom of that press, which helps to transmit the power that you're producing in your chest into that bar effectively and efficiently. Tip number 3, have a plan. Utilize strategic common sense periodization. And what that means is basically, start off with kind of high volume, high repetitions, lower weight, and build some muscle size. You want to hypertrophy your muscles a bit, and then you begin to drop the reps, increase the weight, and intensify a little bit, and begin to build some volume, but at a higher weight and a higher intensity. And then you kind of get into your peaking phase, where you are into, triples, doubles, and singles, and you're at pretty much near maximum working effort. And then you finish off by maxing or testing or a meet, depending on what it is that you do or what you're involved in. And that way you're able to kind of build your base, build a good strong foundation, get lots of reps, build your technical proficiency, and then from there begin to utilize that muscle growth that you've created and slowly begin to increase the weight systematically, increase the intensity systematically up into the point where you would achieve a new max. Tip number 2, increase your tricep strength. I worked really hard on increasing my tricep strength primarily through overhead extensions and a little bit of pressing variation. I did some close grip bench press, JM press, sometimes even like close grip push-ups. I would do that to work the triceps, just basically anything. Dips, I did body weight and some weighted dips, and I kind of rotate through exercises, but my main goal was just increase my tricep strength, and that paid off a lot in just helping me get to lockout, because that, the first half of the bench press usually is primarily chest, and then that second half is very much triceps dominant. So I worked real hard on getting my triceps stronger, and I definitely noticed a big difference. Okay, my final and most important tip for increasing your bench press. Increase your bench pressing frequency. I had been bench pressing once a week for the longest time, and I was making pretty good, consistent improvements, and at some point I hit a wall. And I just could not break 300 pounds for whatever reason. I hit 295 once, and then my next time around, I couldn't get it. I couldn't get to 300, and I kept trying and kept trying and kept trying throughout the coming, probably say months, and I just couldn't hit it. I ended up actually noticing my bench press went down, and so I took a step back, and I kind of redid my program, and I included a second pressing day, and that was really big, just because I got more frequency, more volume. And actually what I ended up doing was, on my second bench press day, so on my primary bench press day where I just did bench press, and then my second day I would do a bench press variation. So I would do close grip bench press, or I would alternate with a floor press, and those were both great because a little bit different than a regular bench press, but still kind of the same movement and working the same muscles, but just kind of different focuses for each of those. Kind of, I guess, more triceps dominant for each of those, and that paid off, and I started to notice that I was getting stronger in my pressing. So there you have it. If I could only do one thing differently going back, it would be just to increase your bench pressing frequency. Okay, I got 300 pounds on the bar. The bar is 45 pounds. This plate is a 55-pound plate. I got a 45-pound plate, so this is 155, 245. I got a 25-pound plate right here, so that brings up to 295, and then this is a 2.5. I got one on each side, so that brings up the total weight to 300 pounds. I'm going to get it today. Three. Yeah!
You want
Two.
Come on, go, 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 go. Come on, push, push, push.
Oh my gosh! Woo! Okay, everyone, that's the video. Hope you enjoyed it and learned something useful. And if you did, press that like button and subscribe to the channel. But remember, don't subscribe to quitting when you hit a wall or you can't break through a plateau. There's always a way. Keep running hard, stay healthy, and take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. Thanks for watching, and kia kaha.